AI is the new frontier of content marketing, and I'm going to explain why and how you can actually leverage it on this video. So today we're going to be talking about how to use AI in content to actually build your business brand. Now, it's no secret, obviously, like I'm sure you're sick and tired, or maybe you're like highly interested in your peak right now, where you're like digging into how AI works and how to be able to leverage it to reach more of your customers. And assuming that I'm talking to business owners right now, it's very important for you to be taking AI very seriously. And more importantly, the search functions of AI. So today I'm going to explain why it's important and then how you can leverage it. There's a couple things, honestly, what I'm going to be talking about today. I actually presented this exact presentation at a mastermind that I went to a few weeks ago, and it blew everybody's mind. And generally, when I was going through like creating the slides, I was pretty mind blown and shocked at some of the things that I found out as I was building my slide deck and doing some research and that sort of thing that I was going to present to the group. So hopefully this brings a little bit of value and understanding about the way AI works and the search functions of it, because it's definitely the resurgence of content. I think, I use this example, like going from like 2019 up into about 2022, like late 2022, there was this massive surge of organic content where you could put out, like, you can create a brand new TikTok account and then blast off in a matter of a couple of months. Or you could put out Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, you could put out podcasts and that sort of thing and blast off. And now we're getting to a point where that has kind of fizzled out a little bit. And people are asking the question, like, is organic content dead? Is it going away? That sort of thing. But now with the usage of AI and the way that it scrapes content for context to deliver answers to the searcher, now content is more important than it ever was. You may not get a lot of views on your videos, but you can make damn sure that people are actually going to be, your potential customers are actually going to be looking for answers to their questions through AI, through ChatGPT, through Gemini. And if you have content out about it, those AI softwares are going to be searching that and then delivering that answer. And if you have great content out there, then it's going to lead people straight to you. So I'm going to kind of explain the process of that and why it's important. So talking about how to actually use AI content to build your brand, I have my slide deck here, so I'm going to be following that as I go along because I think that'd be the best way to go about this. But I always talk about this when it comes to the strategy portion of content marketing. And literally the definition that I give of content marketing conceptually is just answering questions that your target demographic has about who you are, what you do in your industry. That's literally all it is. It's like, I do social media management, I do podcast management, video content management. So all my content that I put out is basically about what I do and teaching you guys how to do it so that you can go do it yourself. But that's literally what I do. So if you own a real estate business, then you should be teaching other people about your industry, about what you do and that sort of thing, and build the content around that. That's literally all it is just answering questions. And if we look at the scope of AI and the way, I'm just going to use, because I use ChatGPT the most, I'm just going to use that as the example. But whether you're using Claude, whether you're using Gemini or whatever else that you're using, it's still going to be a rinse and repeat answer. But what I look at with AI is it answers questions precisely. So if I theoretically go to Google and I type in, who should I sell my house to? Google's going to give me a long list of answers, right? So I'm asking a question, it's going to give me answers, but it's giving me options. And it's my responsibility to go through and filter through what option I want to pick. But if I go to ChatGPT, and I actually did a live demonstration on this when I presented about this, if I go to ChatGPT and I say, and I'm giving context and I say, I'm in Chicago and I need to sell my house because I inherited it from my dead uncle and I need to get rid of it quickly. I don't want to fix it up and I want cash. Who should I sell to? The thing that AI is going to do, ChatGPT is going to give me the exact answer to my question. And when I did this demonstration, it pulled up a specific home buyer. Luckily, that home buyer was one of my good friends. And it pulled up a specific home buyer, gave all their contact info, their website, like literally everything, even gave the reviews that they had on their Google My Business page, their Facebook page, and their Better Business Bureau page. And it gave all that information right there. So if I'm a seller that's looking to sell my house and I have all that information and I see 5 stars all the way across the board, beautiful record with the Better Business Bureau, like amazing reviews on Facebook page and everything, who do you think I'm going to be calling in order to sell my house? I'm not going to be scrolling through the rest of the people. There's my answer right there because ChatGPT gave me the exact answer I'm looking for. That's the depth That's the importance of what we're going at right now. The other day I was looking, I'm starting to get into a little bit more supplements and trying to, figure out what makes the most sense for me for my body type and that sort of thing. And I was looking for L-theanine. And this is a compound that comes out of a green tea leaf and that sort of thing. Helps with anxiety and stress, but also gives a little bit of a boost in focus and that sort of thing. So I have my blood tests and I uploaded them to ChatGPT. I said, what do you think I need from supplements? And it gave me a list, and one of them was L-theanine. I'd heard of it, but I never kind of dug into it. And so I kind of dug into it with ChatGPT a little bit more. Well, explain what it is to me. And then, and of course my wife was asking what it was and that sort of thing. So it gave me everything that it is supplemented for, any pros, cons, that sort of thing. So I said, okay, cool. I'm convinced I should take this. What specific products are the highest rated and which one should I buy? And it gave me a list of 4 or 5 different products, specific products, linked them to Amazon and everything. And which one do you think I went with and purchased? It was the first one on the list because it had the highest amount of ratings, it had the most reviews, the best reviews, and that sort of thing. And price-wise, it was comparable to the rest of them. And that's what I went with. So people are going to be making buying decisions based off of what AI is delivering to them as the answer to the question that they're asking. So that's the depth of this. So when I was doing this presentation, the group I was a part of are all real estate investors, people that buy houses, fix and flip them, they rent them out, stuff like that. So what I asked them was, what do sellers, they buy houses, I said, what do sellers see when they search your name, your company, or what you do in ChatGPT or Google? And I told them, let's try it right now. So I had everybody in the room pull up ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever AI that they use, search their name and see what it spit out. So if you own a business right now, I'm going to encourage you to pause this video, make sure you come back, but pause this video, open up ChatGPT and search your name on ChatGPT and say, I've heard of this company before, your company, I've heard of this company before. What do you think about them and should I do business with them? And see what it spits out. It will shock you what it spits out. It shocked me when I did my business name. And the way I look at it is it's your mystery shopping yourself, but it's actually in theory, the most accurate mystery shopping that you could do because ChatGPT is going to give you everything that you need to know, right? And better yet, if you're in a specific industry, what I had these guys do too is I said, in the search, give a motivation and say, I am a seller in whatever market they were in, and I need to sell my house fast for cash. Who should I sell to? And about 4 or 5 people raised their hand and said, mine was the first, they were excited. Mine was the first one on the list. And then there was other people in the room I'm not even on the list. And then I asked them, do you ever put content out? Do you have a website? No, I don't really invest in that sort of thing. Guys, this is going to be the way that people make decisions when buying. That's what's important here. The next thing I kind of talked about was how customers are actually using AI. What kind of prompts, what kind of questions are they asking? I already briefly talked about this a little bit in the video, but one of the things is who is, and then plug your business name in. Who is Josh Color? Who is Color Media? That's what they're going to be asking. And then they're going to ask, is Josh Color legit? Is he good to work with? What are the reviews of working with him? The next thing they're going to ask is, what are my options to have social media? Is Josh on the list? And if I'm not on the list, then I haven't done a good enough job of putting content out that can feed the algorithm. And the way that we need to be looking at this is, and I actually had, as I was putting this presentation together, I had ChatGPT tell me as much information about how it pulls the data and the answers, and it was fascinating the way it worked. So, I have a slide here that says why AI needs to trust your content. And I said, why do you need to trust my content? How can I rank when I search my name or my industry or what I do in your algorithm? I literally asked ChatGPT this, and this is what it said. It says ChatGPT and search engines can only pull from what exists. So that means, in theory, if you have no content out there, no video content, no blogs, no articles, no podcasts, no presence online, then ChatGPT is not going to be able to pull up anything about you. Therefore, you're not a trusted source, and ChatGPT is not going to suggest you to your potential customer when they search for you. The other thing is that if you haven't published content, then you can't be cited. Just said that. Content equals authority in the eyes of AI. I did not write that. ChatGPT wrote that for me. I said, tell me exactly what you think. And it said content equals authority in the eyes of AI. And then example is, again, it gave me this exact example, and it said, Company A has 10 YouTube videos answering questions for their customers. Company B has a logo and a 3-page website, basic website. Who does ChatGPT trust? We trust, and it actually said we trust Company A because of the volume of content they have contextually relevant to their customer. ChatGPT told me this. I didn't create that slide. So that's the severity of this. So the right type of content to win in AI search, what do we look at? Like, what do we actually put out? So number one is AI prioritizes YouTube and video content. And the reason why is platforms like ChatGPT often pull responses from YouTube because it's the second largest search engine and it's owned by Google. Video titles, descriptions, and it's even indexing the transcriptions, the actual full, because when you upload a video to social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, podcast, it's all getting transcribed. So these search engines are like, if you give rich AI data, then it's going to pull from that and then put that into the search query for the person that's looking for it. And then the other thing is transcriptions feed the AI. Every word you say in a video transcribed and indexed by AI models. And that means that your exact phrasing, explanations, the jargon that you use, and expertise can be quoted directly by tools like ChatGPT when your customer asks a question. So if I have jargon or specific terminology that I'm using, these AI platforms are searching for that exact scenario. So we're at the end of this. I've given you the theory. I've given you everything that you need to know about the way AI works and how important it is to make sure you have content and feeding it to AI. So what do we do now? The first thing I would recommend is for you to run your website and your businesses through the AI platform to discover search improvements. What I even did was I said, I gave it the prompt to look for my business and that sort of thing. And then I said, great, what are some things that I need to work on in order to be able to improve my search results and to be cited more from you? And then it gave me a long list of things I need to do. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna do that. And it gave me really contextual information. So take the advice from ChatGPT on what you need to do. The second thing is ask the AI platforms a contextual question about who to work with in your space with the pain point your customer has. This is the mystery shopping portion of this. So if you act like you are a customer of your own business and then search for that and then see what it gives you and then ask for improvements, right? The next thing is to generate video topics with AI plus scripts if needed. Make sure that you are putting content out. That's important. Like, this is what I talk about. And of course, the thing is, stay consistent with it. Put out as much as you possibly can. I have other videos about how much you should put out, how to put them out, frequencies, consistency, and that sort of thing. But the thing here is consistency. These platforms are looking for consistent uploads, like making sure that it's not just content they're pulling from like 3 or 4 years ago when you kind of stopped and then you're like, oh, I don't really need to do this anymore. They're searching for recent stuff because that's what they want to be able to feed to their searcher, because it's all about contextually giving that answer to the person that's searching for the answer to their question. So hopefully that helped you get a little bit of an understanding on the way that AI works and the platforms and the way that you need to feed the platforms with content and how valuable content is going to be as a resource for your business from here on out. There's this new resurgence of content, and it's because of everything that I talked about today. So if that helped, if you have any questions or if you have more to add on what I said, I'm not a professional, like I'm not an absolute expert in AI, but I do know enough about it from a content standpoint to understand the way that this stuff works and then deliver it to you. But if you are an expert in AI and you want to talk about this more, feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on social media. Look for Josh Culler. I am verified on all platforms. And I would appreciate it if you would subscribe if you haven't already. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.